sun's in my eyes, but it's not in your eyes. So it'll be all right with me. I don't have a problem with it. I'll keep Buster. All right, good morning. Anybody here with me today? Anybody? Chris, you're back to number one. I knew you'd do it. I knew it. I knew it. Betsy Lou, Erica, Miss Can Do, Lisa. All right, going fast here. And I've got the sun in my eyes. I need to readjust here. That sun at this time of the year, I guess, is just going to be on this deck. It's not going to be really good for this. I may have to readjust this real quick, okay? Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. Yeah, it's Monday morning. I'm going to see what I can do here. I'll turn in this so it don't blind you guys, but don't blind me. Is that better? Is that okay? Okay, I'm going to try it. Excuse me, Buster. Buster gets under me. Gets under my chair, and it's kind of hard to maneuver. I can see now. Okay. Good morning. Today's Monday. Don't have a big day planned. I don't think on the house because Kim don't want me doing that unless she's here. Don't mess up my work. Okay. Hey, that's good with me. Levi has to have some more x-rays done today. And then again, I think on Friday. So, for two different doctors, I think. Anyway. But I think tomorrow they're going to try to put down her and G and maybe Bree, whoever, that linoleum in the big room, okay? And we're going to get all that trim ordered and stuff we're going to need for the, I call it the bats that go on each of the seams and stuff and the door facings and stuff. But got enough trim of the long boards to finish the floor in the big room, the baseboards. And good morning to everybody. You doing okay? Anyway, that's what they're gonna be doing on today, not today, but tomorrow. And Dan is out of town, and he said he'll be back Wednesday or Thursday. He's in North Carolina, and he will help Kim set the toilet, get all that done so Buddy can come back and start attaching all the plumbing. And then it'll just be more or less the trim, the door facings and all that, and the cabinets and stuff like that. So they getting there. We getting there, or they getting there. All right, and next week, school is out. It's Splendora. They're out for a week. They have they go, I think, 9 weeks, then they're out a week. And I think Tina and Rob and all of them are going off to Florida somewhere for the week, Ben and everybody. So it'll be a slow week here as far as me getting anything done. It's okay with me. I need a week off too. But I've got a lot of stuff I need to do at my barn. And anytime things are slack over here, and they don't need me over here, I've got work to do in that barn. Lots of work. Y'all know I do. All right, try to catch up on some of these. Cape Cod's beautiful. I bet it is. Yeah, G and them been to Cape Cod. They said it's beautiful up that way. Good morning, Reba. You okay? You and Ray? Vera, good morning, Vera. Yeah, we got to keep Vera in our prayers. She's got a battle to fight, but she's gonna win it. It's winnable. Uh, Sharon, good morning. Kathleen, Sharon. I'm trying to catch some of these names. Story time about Dan and Lester being bad. Well, I got some stories about them two boys. Uh, y'all probably heard the one about our safari in the river in a canoe, you know, and they did me wrong on that trip, but being done wrong is nothing new, you know, when they all get together. Uh, yes, keep and Jill's mom. Jill didn't come for lunch yesterday. She went to visit her mom. Her mom's not doing well in the hospital. She has brain cancer, and it had spread, I guess you might say, from one side to the other or whatever. And some days she knows them, and some days she don't. So just keep those folks in your prayers too. I got on my list here. Gio's mom. I know her name, and her name just skips me every time I think about it. It just out the door it goes. Uh, we had, oh yeah, about them bringing the girls up to their rooms. Yeah, you see, we had tell you just a quick little outline about that. We got moved into our house over there in 1990. Lester was going to college, and Dan's in high school, and we built it, and I had obtained this spiral staircase, and we had built that deck out on the side, and I put that spiral staircase like for emergencies, like had to get out of the house or something, not to come in, to go out. And those boys would bring their girlfriends up at night, real quiet like, and go up this ramp, up into their little man caves. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah, they did stuff like that. Bad, bad boys. Oh, I was against it. I was against it. Their mom was really against it. All right, there's Thomas this morning. Yeah, Thomas is with us here. Uh, I think Juan Don's with me. He's what about you guys? Juan Don Hong or something like that. Yeah, I think he's okay. Good morning there. You con Tommy. And somebody's telling me Lester had a new calf yesterday or the day before. It makes him a pile of calves. I got to get up there and see him, kid. He tells me they're the prettiest calves he's ever had. And I've got to go see him. I just got to get G one day, load that baby up, and let's just go. I'm not going to get into all this ceiling fan stuff with you guys this morning. I don't know what kind of stories y'all been told. Yeah. Uh, uh, Morning, Ricardo. How you doing, buddy? I'm going to train me one of them chickens, Ricardo, to be like Henry or Pancho. Yeah. So I have time to train one. Uh, I can't tell that story, guys, about them upstairs stuff. That's kind of X-rated. Going to X-rated storytelling. That'd be for the guys around a campfire or something. Yeah, them boys. Uh, when our old house burned in 1990, those two boys stepped up. I mean, I'm telling you, they stepped up. I had uh, Lester and Daniel, we built almost that whole house. by ourselves, all the logs. Uh, Before, and G and I was staying in a school bus, converted school bus enough to sleep in at night. We built it like a little restroom, outdoor, not an outdoor restroom. We built like a little, in fact, it's still there, little old storage rooms, 12 by 12, and we put a shower in there and a toilet and partitioned off and washer and dryer. That's where it was our main, where everything was at. It was that little 12 by 12 room. And in Lester, we got the preacher brought a camper over. Lester stayed in it. He was going to college, and Dan, I think, was staying at my mom's house, and he was going to driver's ed. So I had Lester in the mornings. He did school in the afternoons, and Dan was at driver's ed in the mornings. And when about time Lester was leaving to go to school, Dan was coming home. So those two boys and me basically built all the log part of that home. We'd already had the slab poured before school was out that year. And all we did, when they brought them logs and dumped them off out there, we started putting them together. And it was not a kit, it was just bare logs. And I had my own little blueprint in my mind, and that's what we went by, and that's how we built it. But yeah, they was awesome. The hardest part was driving those spikes, and these spikes was like so long, and they go all the way through one log and almost over halfway through the other. I found out later there was a secret to that. You get a long drill bit, and you're smaller than the spike, but you drill a hole all the way down, and they go down real easy. We just drove them with a sledgehammer. But it's there. Yeah, I'm proud of my boys. Yeah, Roddy, they're good men. They're good men. Good morning, Connie, Ricardo, Cynthia, Reba, Jay Lee. Roddy has a different, he has an alias. It's Juan Don or something like that. He likes to have his alias name for any kind, he gets any kind of trouble, he gives the wrong name. He won't say, I'm Ronnie Neal, he'll say, I'm Juan Don. No, don't ask me to explain these things. It's something to do with him and Thomas. Thomas got some kind of sideline for him. I think he had Don Juan, yeah. And but it's not Don Juan. It is Juan Don. It's backwards. It's backwards. Not the Don Juan, the romancing type guy. But it's Juan Don. So that should tell you something. Yeah, Juan Don. There you go, Don. That's it. Juan Don. Oh, thank you, Maureen. Maureen, thank you. Make sure Ronnie saw that. Blue looks good on me. I look dapper. Ronnie wanted to look so dapper. In fact, I'm going to show y'all something. And I was not going to do this, but Thomas told me, encouraged me to do it. Ronnie had his friend Jimmy, my friend too now, is an artist, and he taught Ronnie to paint. But he had painted a picture of Ronnie, and y'all know what Ronnie looks like. He's a nice-looking guy and everything. But so when he started doing these here things here, everybody kept saying PawPaw's dapper, and Ronnie got upset. Ronnie wants to be dapper too. I said, get you a hat. Get you a hat like this one. I ain't wearing one of them. Well, so he had Jimmy take this old portrait of his and touch it up. Add blue eyes, make his eyes blue, and put hair on his head. Where'd it go? So there he is with hair and blue eyes, so he could be dapper. Yeah, and I'm sure Ronnie's probably dapper to his wife and folks, around him. and his doctors. He dapper them doctors for sure. All right, let's move along here. Let's move along. Uh, Anybody got anything out there they want me to tell you or talk about? I'm kind of a blank this morning. It's a Monday. We had a great dinner yesterday. Yeah, there you go, Betsy Lou. Dapper Ronnie. Uh, he needed that. Uh, Carly K's internet keeps cutting out. I've had that happen many times, sweetie. You know, his cousin's here yesterday, and in fact, he was talking about something that's similar to that about his house, and he has the same kind of system AT&T we have. I don't know, think it's probably ain't the best, but it's not the worst, probably evidently. But he's telling me how things just they be doing something, it just everything just stops, cuts out, quits. And I know Ronnie had the same problem sometimes. And ours is hooked up at the house over there. It evidently is a pretty good system because I get a live right here on this porch. I can do videos out here. I mean, I can upload out here if I want to. I can go out to my kitchen and I can watch TV over here. We get the full signal over here, full signal out there in my kitchen. Anywhere in my house, and Cuz said in his house, there's some places they don't get a good signal, even in his own house. And was talking about that yesterday. So, but I do know how when it starts cutting out. I wished I could go back to the camp back there and do lives or go back there and upload and stuff, but I can't. It's too far away from my house. I lose my signal, but it's okay. Uh, how did I meet G and get married? You want to hear that story real quick? I can tell you. G was from a little place over close to Beaumont, Texas, but I never knew her. And they had moved to California several years before. And I joined the Marines, but naturally I went through training in California, and then I went overseas. When we come back, California, there, uh, had a friend that grew up with G and them, and he would stay there on weekends. Uh, and one weekend, I was going to see my girlfriend, and he wanted to know if he have a ride. I could drop him off there. So I said, yeah, I'd drop him off. And so we took off, and anyway, I got to her house. I didn't know these people. And knocked on he said, you got to come in and meet them, meet the family. And I said, okay, I get out. Texas people, you got to go meet them, ex-Texas people. Anyway, we go to the door, and this little girl opens the door, and she got her hair in rollers, and kind of like a little, in fact, her dad called her his China doll. She kind of looked kind of like a little Oriental girl, and I kind of favored those ladies. But anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, cute little girl. Anyway, they invite us in, and Dad meets us and said, get some coffee here, and we're sitting talking in the living room, and they were getting ready for church. And I've got a date. I can't stay long, but I got a date. But I noticed this down the hallway, because I'm looking hallway right down my side. And every time she come out of her bedroom, go across the hall to the restroom or bathroom, she'd stop and look at me. Probably wanting my body, I guess. I never told her that. So yeah, I'd look back at her, and then she was kind of going into the room, and she'd come back. Each time she'd come out, she looked better and better. The hair curlers were gone. The hair was combed long, black hair. Whew. Yeah, I liked it. That's how I met her. Anyway, I left, went on to see my girlfriend, and uh, after that, I started going to see her. So there it is. There it is. Uh, Anyway, that's the way that was. And then we got married and moved to North Carolina first. That's where I got orders to North Carolina. And so we was gonna get married when she finished high school. She was a senior, and I come on home on leave on my way to North Carolina, and And I called her and said, why are we waiting until you get out of school? You don't need no education. Be like my friend Ronnie Neal. You don't have to know nothing. So I sent her a plane ticket. She come on. We got married here and went up. Yeah, that's the way it worked out. Anyway, yeah, she went back later and got her GED and all that stuff. So, all right. Uh, that's how it worked out. Uh, Shut up, Rooster. And Rooster's here. We start talking and they crank up. I hear you. All right. I'm glad you liked that story. That's the way it worked out. Ricardo, yeah, he does. Rodney believes in Bigfoot. He's out there. In fact, I watched a story last night about Bigfoot. I'm not trying to push this guy's channel, but he tells these Bigfoot stories. And I now and then tune into them, uh, to the Bigfoot stories. And this park ranger saw one up Glacier National Park, and he transferred out. He said he couldn't work there no more. They're out there, guys. They're out there, just here and there. Ronnie's gonna see one day out there in that chicken pen. Yesterday, uh, it was Ben's birthday dinner, I guess you call it, and he wanted chicken and dumplings. So I made a pretty good video for next Sunday, me and G cooking it. I helped. I even baked a cake. Naturally I did the cornbread, but anyway, I helped her do all that stuff. And before he left to go to church, he says, "Gee," he says, "I don't like mine real thick. I don't want it like porridge." And I said, "Well, Ben, we don't want it runny. Well, but I don't want it like porridge." Okay, we'll make it so. It come out delicious. And so we had Rob and Tina come over because it's also Rob's birthday dinner, but Rob don't like dumplings. So there you are. You got one that wants dumplings and one that don't. So we'll do something different for Rob next time he comes over, but we did have cake for both of them. And so we had a good time. And Ben got his dumplings. I know. Yeah, Brenda had dark hair, and she had real long hair down on her shoulders back here, really pretty. Yeah, and I always loved long hair, and not so much. I mean, short's fine too. I always, liked long hair, and we're married. And I come home from out there in North Carolina, and I come home from work one day and walk in, and there was this short-haired woman in my house. She looked good, but still, she's short-haired woman. Yeah, it was her. Uh, and it's been short ever since. Short ever since. Well, I guess mine's short too. So, but I don't mind it now. It's fine. I'm used to it. I still like long hair though. Uh, anyway, uh, somebody said Ronnie can't lie. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I was there with Cuz yesterday, and I was sitting right here having a good conversation. And Cuz don't get to come over that often. He can't hardly drive at night. That's part of his problem. He has this heart issues, and he just don't like to get far from home, And but he come by yesterday. We were sitting there talking, and Ronnie calls on the phone. So I put him on speaker. Probably a big mistake, but I did. And anyway, him and Cuz trying to, roast me like they always do. And anyway, when it was over and Cuz get Larry to leave, he said, you know, someday you ought to do a video, me and Ronnie and you, just a little video of him talking and me on the other, you know, us talking to him on the phone. That's where Cuz he'll start lying. He'll start telling bad lies on me and stuff. You know, and I won't be able to stop him, so you can always cut him off. Hang up. Well, I can do that. And make sure he don't say any bad words. Ronnie gets a little excited. He don't never know what's going to come out of his mouth. Just ask Thomas. Yeah, just ask Thomas. Yeah, we talked about Thomas too. Cuz gets fascinated with stuff up north, you know, not just Alaska, but up north, how you guys live up there, and all that snow and cold, and I do too. And you know, we was talking about we can go back unless Bigfoot's back there. I don't worry about nothing getting me in the woods at night. I can go back there. I don't have to carry a gun. I do. I don't have to because there's coyotes and stuff back there. They ain't gonna try to get me, but they might try to get my little boys, you know. But and now and then there's been no big cats back there and stuff like that. But overall, but up north, folks sometimes they go to the barn. They better be armed. You never know what's out there in that barn they go to. You know, bears and stuff all up there. So if we had black bears down here or grizzly bear stuff, we overnight we'd all be in trouble. So here we go. Anybody got another story they want to hear? I'm here for it. All right, Marcia. Yeah, Marcia gonna have some surgery. Need to pray for her. Karen's gonna have surgery here. Karen is gonna have surgery in a few months. Keep those people in our prayers. Molly, we're praying that surgery goes well for you, sweetie, and I'm sure it will. Tommy, go back, lay on your bear skin. Thomas is a very interesting guy. He goes to Alaska when he's 22 years old for a year to work, make a little money, never come back. Still in Alaska. And now I think he's 83 and doing well. The cold weather was good for him, I guess. Somebody moved back to Texas. I came back to Texas when I finished Marine Corps time over in, I think, 68. I don't know what about somebody else. I've been back a while. All right, man, it's going back to work. You do good now. You do good. Okay, Amy's having surgery on the 13th. Okay, Amy, yeah, we'll be praying for you too. In fact, I'm gonna write these names down real quick, guys. Hang on. I'll get that on my list. There's Amy. Marcia and Amy, hang on. All right, I got it. Ronnie's going to be doing a lot of tests this month, so seriously, let's keep Ronnie in our prayers too. They got several tests they're going to run on him, and he can always count on Thomas and Jimmy and I and Steve even, you know, holding him up more or less on these tests, and kind of rooting, what's that, rooting him on. Yeah, seriously, let's just pray for Ronnie too. But I have Karen, Ronnie, and Madeline's mom, and Marcia, and Amy, and Vera on my list this morning. My list got cleaned off, so I don't have all of them back on there, all of the names yet. And Reba and Ray are on here. I got a lady called me this morning or sent me a message about her little dog Rosie. Needs our prayer. Rosie's got cancer, and lifelong. It's been with her for years and years and years. I don't know what she's gonna do without Rosie. And it's kind of the same thing that Susan's going through with Max, and and Lacey's out there with the eye problems, but I think she's doing better. So anyway, keep those are animals, but we pray for animals. We pray for them. You guys pray for Ivan, and look at him, turned into an ass. That's probably Ronnie calls that. Uh, anyway, uh, pray for Crystal here, okay? Tammy Frey. All right, Tammy Frey needs prayer. Now we don't have to know what these people need prayer for. God knows all that kind of stuff, guys. But I think God wants us to pray for people. He does. And you ain't got to be a saint like Ronnie to pray for people. You can, God hears our prayers. Okay. You pray for Tammy. Uh, and for Connie Hill's son. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, I have. I'm going to be putting that bike together one day on the video. Guys know I'm not going to be riding a bike, but it's a gift. It's a gift for Dustin. And so when y'all see that little video come out, even though you don't want to ride a bike, now some of you might. It's supposed to be a good bike, but I got it so I can put it together for him and for him as a gift. Everybody on this hill down there got electric bikes, some multiple, I think, but Dust would love that thing, and it's got a kid's seat goes on it. I haven't opened it up yet, still in the box, but he'd be able to take some kids back and forth the river and stuff when he goes back there. He loves to go that river back there. He's constantly going back. Uh, now I got a couple other stuff. I didn't do gifts and goodies on Saturday. Some of you guys probably looked saying it wasn't there. We worked Friday. And usually I make those videos Friday, at some point on Friday for the Saturday morning. And we worked all day. I was whipped out come Friday evening. I was just whipped. And so I didn't do it. And we'll do it this week. We'll get them all done this week and post it for Saturday. They'll be out Saturday for sure. And but I got a lot of things. I got a video. That bike for one. You get it out. I got a couple of other things I want to video, but I'm going to video when we're working them. They're CC tools, and they're going to be when we're working. Not no need just to go show you something if I can't use it, and I'll show it in use. And it'll be like a regular video that just throw it in there. This way we do those. Ride your three-wheeler. I love the three-wheelers. I do. We have two, both of them Viribus. The first one I probably like better than I do the new one that's for G. G loves the new one. Well, it's nice. It's really nice. But I like the other one a little bit better. I think it's a little bit wider. It's a little wider on the back, and I think it's more stable back in those hills and up and down back in the back. But yeah, both of them work good. You can put feed in those baskets on the back of them and take off. And so far, the cows ain't run over trying to get their treats. I have to worry about Miracle. She likes to get right up in your lap. Somebody said about me, I don't get mad. I may get angry now and then. Uh, Three-finger boogie run. Yeah, yeah. Now, if I was back there in the back at night on one, and Bigfoot come out, that might be a different story. as, as slow as I am, I might outrun that bike. But Steve sent me a thing about Bigfoot, some sounds up there in those Tennessee hills. And I told Steve, I ain't going in them hills. And Steve said, I'm going. I'm gonna go hunting. I ain't going. You tell me how it come out when you come home. If you come home. Yeah, he's out there, folks. I'm telling you. One of these days, y'all say, well, PawPaw was right. He was right all along. Uh, yeah, he lives in remote places, guys. He can be remote. And see, that's what me and Cuz talked about the other day. Not only him, but seriously, I'm serious here. When you have all this development going on, it squeezes the animals that live there into wooded areas, and it becomes concentrated. And I'm sure some move out looking for new land, or it's too crowded or whatever. But you get back here in the back, cross the river, and all these woods that stretches for miles and stuff. Stuff gets squeezed out of these big developments into that kind of places, whether it be Bigfoot or big cats, or coyotes, or whatever it may be. They all get squeezed down in there. That's why I think we see coyotes all the time back there. Not just, oh, you love the blue hat? Thank you. Lady loves my blue hat, Ronnie. Dapper. Dapper hat. Yeah. Someone bought some land back in the booties. Yeah, you get back in the booties, you hear all kinds of stuff. You go back here at night, and you sit back there. You have to sit there long, so you hear them old coyotes. There'll be a pack of them back off in this direction, and a little bit there'll be a pack of them answer way up off here somewhere. So you know they're all back there. And now we see them back there even now. One or two at a time, even during the daytime. So they're all back there. If I ever thought about writing a children's book, what do you think, Ronnie? My language probably ain't good enough for kids. The kids are still in the learning process. You don't want to be led astray with some kind of language. You're like, what does that mean? Or, I don't even understand that, man. I have to leave that children's book to somebody else. I would love for it to be a story about Ivan out there. Ivan's a character. He is really a character. The other day, I think it's on one of my videos, I'm not for sure. I don't know if I videoed or not. He's picking on one of the cows. He does that. And most time they just kind of turn their back to him and go about their business, but he's picking. And I saw him and I hollered, Ivan. And all of a sudden he stopped and looked. PawPaw sees me. And he starts at me. Yeehaw. He goes, no, I saw you. I saw you picking. Well, good morning, Pat Annie, or Amy. I can't even see it. Annie's, Pat Annie's. Listen, y'all's names are small and they're kind of shaded. Your comments are brighter, but I can see the comments. A lot of you don't see your name. So if I don't get your name right, it ain't because I'm stupid. Don't think that. Rodney, don't tell him. Don't hurt nobody, Buster. All right. And now, also, if you're new here, you're welcome. And I'm gonna tell you, I'll say it this way, and I know this will be a fact because I have people send me emails and send me messages and stuff. They live alone, or they don't know any of the neighbors, or everybody's off and gone to work, whatever just the case is, and they love after they come on here now, they say, I have coffee with you guys in the mornings. I love it. You know, we do this. I love the chats. And I've met people on your channel that we text and we emails and stuff now, phone calls and stuff. And that makes me feel good because, you know, you guys that do this will still be friends with these folks long when I'm gone. You know, this channel's done and gone away or whatever. Y'all can still be friends. And y'all be saying, we met back with old PawPaw back in the day, you know. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, long time developing land, you don't do it overnight, do you? You don't develop land like you want it overnight. I'm still working on it. uh, my old barn needs to come down. But I can't tear it down till I got something to replace it from old cows to get out of the weather. Uh, and I told Ben, I says, but Ben supposedly is going to probably ain't gonna be around that much after January. He's gonna start school or whatever, so I may not have been that much. But one of these days, we're gonna get out there and tear that old barn down, probably like in a summertime or spring or whatever. And because it's gonna fall down one of these days. It's old. Gosh, it was old when I put it up. I tore an old barn down to get that barn, and but it's really old, and and build something else, something smaller and more sturdy for the cows. And probably do that next year. I'm hoping to do it next year. So, but it takes time, you know. And the older you get, the slower you get. Yeah, we get slower. That's the way we are. The little dove. Let me tell you about that little dove. I am so proud that Macy brought that little dove to me without hurting it. I think she just had it by the wing, and it was still flopping. And she probably would have ended up killing it. Maybe, I guess you got cats do. But, you know, she just had caught it. And what it does, the doves come out and they eat where I feed the chickens. And that's probably where she caught it. And anyway, I take it away from her. I eventually put it in with the little chickens. Well, y'all saw that part. And I went out by that evening and it's pecking with the chickens, you know, standing there pecking. Yeah, I thought, okay, it's going to be okay. The next day I go out, open that door, and that baby flew out of there, flying like ain't never nothing been a problem. I opened that door back and whoosh, he went up, circled, went out across the pasture. So he's going home to where his folks live. But yeah, he's doing good, I'm sure. And I told G, I said, I bet it comes up here every day with the mother doves when they eat. And he probably comes back every day. But he's probably watching out for Macy. Watch out for that Macy cat. An Amish house would be awesome. I bet it would be, and I bet it'd be well built. You know, Ronnie was telling me recently that he wanted to become Amish and build some stuff. I said, Ronnie, you got to get up first. You can't be Amish laid over that bed. You know, you got to get up, get a hammer or something, get out there and do some work. Yeah. You know, Ronnie's really a super good guy, guys. I'm telling you the truth. I have a lot of fun with Ronnie. And but he sometimes, you know, you get kind of down and out, you're working whatever, and he'll call his bull, and you got to get a smile on your face before you hang up. But then you want to hang up quick. You want to say something, hang up on him. Yeah, God does love Ronnie. He does. You know, Ronnie goes to church pretty often, especially when they have food. His church, seriously, it's serious here. I wouldn't lie about this. His church, well, his church, they have dinners quite often. And Ronnie never misses a dinner. He never misses that service. fact, the preacher told him one day, he says, you know, Ronnie, I didn't recognize you looking at you. He said, I always see the back of your head in that food line. Good morning, Dot. Dot was trying to send me a video last night and never could get it to take. Dot, it never did come through, sweetie. You're going to have to keep working on it. I want to see that stuff you're going to show me there. Dot kind of showed me her place, and I want to see it. And she's working on a video for me. Uh, uh, Thomas, yeah, Thomas, Ronnie thinks Thomas should make Cheetos. That's why he wants to be an army. He can be in there making them Cheetos. Kim and Levi come for lunch yesterday, and Levi's feeling better. Kim was, I'll tell you what, Kim was wore out. Kim was wore out. Down there, you can't really sleep in them places. You know, you can't really get no rest and stayed awake watching Levi and worried about Levi. But she's back home now, getting a little rest, I think, and she's starting to feel herself. We had a lot of fun at Dan's last night. I won't talk about the game we played over there because it'll be in this video. But she's feeling a lot better, but I was worried about Kim too. Just go, and not getting no rest, you know. And I'm so proud of the family to go down and visit with her and give her, you know, breaks to be able to come home for a little while and do stuff, and then go back, you know, get her out of the room a little bit. But yeah, they're all doing well. Yeah, my old mama cat, I may have told y'all that. You know, the old cat come here years ago. She was old, I think, when she came here, but she was still young enough to have kittens because she had 2 litters before I tamed her down enough to catch her. Yeah. But she'd come out there in that pasture and she'd sit out there and I'd see her, and I always feed my cats in the mornings. And I'd take food out there, what's behind now, in my old hen house, and had like a little storage build, had a little window unit, air conditioner in it. And I'd pour food so she could see me pouring on top of the air conditioner. And as soon as I'd leave, she'd come up and hop up and eat. And as time went by, just like that little black cat we have on the back patio now, a little kitty, I had never given him a name yet. He'd get to be a big kitty, but he's so funny, so cute. But she would get closer and closer. Eventually, I was able to touch her, you know, just touch her. Then I started feeding her on the back patio. During this long process, you know, over a year or two, a couple of years there, she had two litters of kittens. And so finally she got gentle enough I could pick her up. And I put her in a crate and we took her down and got her neutered. Spayed. And yeah, neuters, Ronnie, you know what neuter means. Spayed, we got her spayed. And but she just come a big old patio cat. Never left the patio. I went out the other day and she's up in her chair like she always slept, just passed away during the night. She'd been kind of feebly, but she was old, you know. But she'd passed away, and so she's kind of missed on that back patio. You go out there, she's not there, you know. Never caused a problem with nothing. She's really a good old cat. Moses is doing fine. I got a video, I think, coming today or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow video. I stopped and visited with him the other day back there, and he let a bird poop on his back. I had to talk to him about that, letting the birds poop on his back. Yeah, Moses is an awesome bull. Just stop whatever you want to, and he'll come up to you and just let you love all of him and pet him and scratch his head and just, you know, he likes a treat, though. He wants a treat. And if you ain't got a treat, you can't just abandon him and drive off. You got to go back. So I'll be back, and he expects you to come back, and I always do. I always go back and give him a treat if I don't have him with me. And Marty, Crystal, Denise, Anna Maria Piazza, Steve, Elena, you're right. Moses, he likes the ladies when he's in the mood for ladies. Besides that, he'd rather just watch TV by himself. He, he, he'd rather just be by himself. He got to listen to all that yicky yak going on, but he knows when he's needed. And when he's needed, he'll come do his job, and then gotta get away from him, go back by myself. Yeah, he said, I don't have to deal with them ladies. Uh, but yeah, he's an awesome bull. I had an old bull like that. Seriously, guys, one time, a Beefmaster bull, big bull, weighed about 2,000 pounds. I bought him off that Maxwell Ranch over in Liberty. And my neighbor over here, where Logan has a greenhouse now, he had, I think, 12 cows, but no bull. And when one of those cows would have the urge, this bull would come up to the fence and jump that fence, clear it just as clean, walk across there and do his business and come back and jump back over and going back. And my neighbor's name was Mr. Wyman, Duke Wyman. He told me one day, he says, you know what? He says, we're just going to buy a bull. He says, I like your bull. I like your bull. And he says, there's no need me buying a bull with him coming over here whenever I need a bull. That's true. You ain't got to buy a bull. All right. Yeah, he is chill. He don't get all crazy. The only time I see him a little bit upset, and the bulls get upset, it's best not to mess with them, is he go over that corner over there and he can see through the woods. You can see a clearing, and that's where his dad lives. That's where he come from. And whether it's his dad still there or it's another bull, there's another bull over there. And they start that talking trash back and forth. And then sometimes he get pretty worked up over there on that. And but usually you can end that by taking some cubes down there and say, hey, I got cubes, rattle that bucket. He'll come on out of the woods. Well, I got to go eat. I'll be back. I'll be back. And you can kind of break it up that way, at least for a while. I love seeing you guys communicating back and forth with each other. Oh, yeah, Billy and Tex. Oh, Lord. Poor Bill could not hold a candle to Tex. Tex had them horns that stuck way out there, and Bill's horns wasn't made for fighting. Yeah, they had some battles. Uh, I was worried, always worried about it. One of them was going to get a horn in an eye, a horn in a rib, and it had to be put down. That'd been so horrible, just, and it don't take but an instant, and that can happen. I've seen bulls hurt. My friend Jack in Cleveland had a bunch of bulls on a pasture, and he had bought a brand new bull, big, pretty bull, paid a lot of money for him, and hadn't turned him out long, and them bulls got to fighting, and just by accident, another bull stuck a horn in him, into his intestines, and he had to be put down. Big, fancy, pretty bull, a lot of money, had to be put down because he tore him up on the insides. They couldn't fix it. Yeah, he had a wonky horn. Thanks to Tex on that too. Oh yeah, but it didn't bother him none. He did a good job. Uh, and you'll see pastures sometimes with a lot of bulls, and they're not like fighting. And I think though what's happened out there is usually one has already showed his dominance, and the others stay out of the way. Even when a cow comes into season, they stay back out of the way, and they may get up close, but they ain't gonna take a risk getting beat up. Uh, they can have some terrible fights. And as a boy, our neighbor had an old bull got up in this fighting on a fence line, and my dad and I was trying to break them up. And I was about 14, and and it's dangerous trying to break them up. Even with a stick, well, you can't beat one of them off another bull. You know, they tied up in a knot. So my dad's now I was trying to break them up, and here they come down. I'm down by the fence, and here they start coming down this fence sideways at me. So I'm gonna climb over the fence and get away at barbed wire fence. Just about the time I got that top wire wrapped down between my legs, and I'm going over it, they hit the fence, and me and the fence and all went over. Well, it cut both sides of my leg up high, and I thought I'd been messed up. There wouldn't have been no Lesters or Daniels or Kims and Tinas, but I wouldn't. It was just my legs. But yeah, barbed wire, it took me down to the ground, and one day it run over me because I'm hung up that wire, and they come running by, fighting. We had some wild times, wild times. So them old boys are lucky. They were lucky. they're lucky. I didn't get hurt. Not too bad. Yeah. We had some wild times, old bulls and horses fights. My dad had a stallion. We had, I think, 13 mares at one time, and my dad had a stallion, and he sold coats, and we all had our own horse, you know. And but my guy down the road had an old stallion too, and I don't know why everybody kept stallions. But anyway, my dad did because he raised them horses. But that old stallion would come up now and then, they'd fight up and down that road out there fighting, and you get in the pasture and running. Horses get crazy too, you know, running each other, biting, and all of them, and all 13 mares just like this all over the place, you know, trying to separate them, close them up, pin them up. We've had some wild times here on this place, wild times. That swaying fan, I'm not going to talk about that swaying fan. That's X-rated fan. Just luckily I put the fans up good. Yeah. Nothing like farm life. I'm serious. It's nothing like farm life. We didn't hang out in the house like a lot of them do today. We was outside going all day long, you know. Cousin I was talking about here a while back, he and I grew up together. And we'd be back on the river, out in the cornfields, wherever, playing all day long. You know, we left out in the mornings after something we'd eat, we'd meet up, we'd head for the woods and climb pine trees, little pine trees, and ride them over. Yeah, crazy stuff. Build forts back in the woods, tree houses, go swimming, you know, whatever. You know, we was never in the house. And they'd have to almost call us back in the evenings. They had to call us back in. Cause we had no reason to come back in. Man, we had TV, you know, 3 channels. Yeah. 2, 11, and 13, I think. And during the day, it was soap operas all day long. My mom loved soap operas. Guiding Light, Days of Our Lives. I can't remember all of them. There's a bunch of them. But, yeah. And but at night, you know, and when Bonanza first come out, we'd watch Bonanza. It was still our old TV, black and white for years. But, yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. I think we got electricity. I was 7 years old when we got electricity. And it wasn't too long after we got electricity, we got a little TV. And had that old antenna. And sometimes you would be getting a good signal and somebody turn it, and somebody would watch you. A little bit more. Stop, go back. You know, that's where you had to do it. Fun times, good times. We look back, good times. It wasn't so fun you hanging out the window with that antenna and turning it, you know, and it's raining and it's cold, but it's fun. Yeah, some way they're out the same way. They're out of the house by 9 o'clock in the morning and going and not come back late. That's right. But thank you there, busy ditch. I always get tongue tied on that one of these days. I want to call Ronnie names like that sometime. uh, oh yeah, you'd have to hit the TV Sunday because TVs had them old tubes. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick story here. Then we'll cut this out. The old TVs had tubes, and stores in town had tube testers, and they'd sell tubes. Yeah, you use your own TV repairman. Unless your big picture tube went out, you could take the back off. Yeah, one of the people didn't kill them to get electrocuted and watch it. Turn it on and watch. And you see that little tube didn't light up. That nerve's bad. Unplug it, pull it out, take it to town, and they'd give you one just like, come on, plug it back in, turn it on. There's TV. Yeah, and sometimes them old tubes get loose. The side of it, bang, bang, and it come on, you know. All right, and some folks had them little old rabbit ears on top. putting that tinfoil on the ends of them. Yeah, I've seen all that stuff. We did it all. All right, look, I got to get out of here. I've had fun with you folks this morning. We've had a lot of fun growing up here on this place. I tell you, I couldn't ask for a better place to grow up. I couldn't ask for better parents. Truly, I couldn't. And I was blessed to had all this to play on and grow up on. And I hope to pass all that on to grandkids and kids and grandkids to grow up on too, you know, and enjoy it like I did. It's different today than it was then. You know, things are different because you got big developments out here, and nowadays you can hear the fire trucks going all day long almost, but we didn't have that kind of stuff back then, you know. Very seldom a car come by. Very seldom now. You know. Anyway, I love you guys. I gotta get out of here. Y'all take care, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Good Lord's willing. I have a video every morning. You new folks, you're welcome here. Hope you join in. Just tell us your name. I forgot any. Do you have any birthdays? I was almost run off without the birthday. Any birthdays here this morning? Any? Do it quick. Gotta do it quick. Any birthdays? None? No birthdays. Any birthdays? I'm looking for birthdays. I don't see any birthdays. Mama, somebody had one on Friday. Did we sing to you on Friday? Any birthdays? Okay. Okay. All right. Nana on Friday. This Friday, I guess. I'm guessing we're talking about this Friday. Okay. That's the first time we had no birthdays. But listen, if you're there and you're embarrassed to say something, it's real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, whoever. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. I got you. I got you covered. I love you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Subscribe and join in. You'll have fun. Bye-bye.